Hey guys, it's Marissa, kitchentablestamper.com. I'm hoping to stamp a stack of 6 cards with you. And I've got a mailbag. I have gotten some of the greatest cards I wanted to share last week. But because I couldn't see the comments, I didn't share because I want to see if you're here, if I share your card, your comments on them. So I'm hoping everything goes really smooth today. Okay, so let's just jump right in because I've got 6 cards. I did a lot of work ahead of time so that they'll go smoothly, but I want to show you what we're doing. We're doing a Stamp-A-Stack. We're doing Wonder Recipe number 7. This is our cutting diagram. You can find these on the Craft Social in the files section, and you can find them on the blog by sorting the blog. Use the right-hand sidebar, and you can sort the blog for 6x6 Wonder Recipes, and you'll find these. I'm doing a revamp on them all. I'm redrawing them one at a time, and it was number 7's turn to get redrawn. So this is our Wonder Recipe number 7. Wonder Recipe is a one-sheet wonder for a 6-inch piece of paper. Take your 6x6 paper, cut it according to the diagram, dole out the pieces to as many cards as you want. You can cut as many sheets as you want. We're gonna do 3 today. Mix and match, and it gets you started. So the idea behind the Wonder Recipe is you choose your designer series paper. I've got the Dragonfly Garden, so it sets your color palette. Choose your stamp set. I've got Oh Snap, so that picks your theme. And then when you go from there, cut the paper. You're already so far committed to it, you can't help but make some great cards. That's kind of the idea behind the Wonder Recipe. So this is the one we're using, and these are the cards we're making. All right, so this Wonder Recipe with 3 pieces of paper makes 6 cards. So I've got this one, 2 copies. You crock my world. I'm gonna give one of those to Max. And then Sending a Big Smile. I've got 2 of those. And then our third design is Jungle Wishes and Crocodile Kisses. And we've got 2 of those. All right, so that's what we're making. Robin said, I've found that I love doing Wonder Recipe. I do too, and I have a hard time making just 1 card now. It's really just easier to stamp 6 while you're at it. Mix and match your layers a little bit. So let's start right now. We're gonna jump in and cut our paper. While you're getting in here, I'm gonna cut according to the Wonder Recipe. Trimmer and move my cards aside. Now, you do want to pay attention and do a little bit of pre-planning with your Wonder Recipe if you have papers with a directional orientation. So this one has a definite directional. We got to decide now, do we want our stripes to go horizontal or vertical before we cut? And the Wonder Recipe template really helps you to kind of visualize that. I know ahead of time that I'm making cards that are going to be in the landscape mode, so I want my paper, my directional paper, I want it to be horizontal. So I'm going to line that one up, and I'm just going to cut according to the recipe. We're going to cut at 3 inches, then we're going to cut those down to 2 by 3 and 4 by 3 inch pieces. All right, so I'm going to start on that 3 inch, and then cut it down right in half. And then I can stack these, rotate, and cut off 2 inches. Then what I like to do with the template, I'll show you, is I like to just drop my pieces right in, so as I'm doling them out, I've got them all set and ready to go. So I'm going to do that with the other 2 papers, and then we'll have all the designer series paper cut for our cards. Ah, Susan's and Palos, we're not too far. Little distance there. All right, same thing with these guys now. They are 3 inches and then 2 by 4. And I'm gonna drop those in my template. They're ready to sort. And then this one. And cut off 2 inches. So now that's our Wonder Recipe. It's scalable. Can just do 1 and make 2 cards. Now, if you had a paper for this, for instance, because somebody asked, how does this work? The Wonder Recipes. And I said, you know what? Crafty girls do what they want. So let's say you just had a paper. Let me see if this is one of them, where you like both sides. This one is actually a perfect example. Then you can do this Wonder Recipe with just 1 sheet of paper. So you have 1 sheet of 6x6 paper. And then you could make 2 cards with this. So you can put your little papers on your card base. That would make 2 cards. So it's very scalable, it's mix and matchable, but once you've chosen your designer series paper, you've chosen your stamp set, and you've cut the paper, like I said, you're too far down the road to stop. All right, so our designer series paper is cut. Now we choose our card bases. I'm using the Dragonfly Garden Stamp-A-Stack kit from the Kitchen Table Stamper store and making it new again. So in this kit, I have 2 each, Misty Moonlight. I went ahead and I embossed them. I couldn't resist the hammered metal with the crocodiles. There's 2 of the Bumblebee, and I did the same. And then there's 2 Seaside Spray in this kit. And I'm gonna go ahead and emboss my second Seaside Spray with you so you can see that great folder. All right, I've got my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and number 1, which is my platform, my card. And this is the hammered metal 3D embossing folder. I'm gonna pop my card front in there and run through with number 4 on top. So give that a crank. Robin says, so I need new blades. That might be the ticket there. I do change my blades a lot. All right, so there it is. We're gonna use this side because I think it looks like more like crocodile skin, but I love that this, the debossed side, is really, really cool too. So it's a great folder, gives a really deep impression. We're gonna do 3 now. Your card kit, if you decide that you want to get one of these, you can follow right along in with the video. It included all the cards you'd have to add to modify from the Dragonfly Garden Stamp-A-Stack to Oh Snap. You would have to add a half a sheet of Whisper White. So it's got the Whisper White cardstock to each of the card bases, just like we've got a quarter package, 1 of each design of the Dragonfly Garden. This stuff is so much fun. Half a pack of the little trinkets. We're going to use those today, the little ladybug trinkets. And then I think we did 5 yards of linen thread. All right, so this is the kit, and you can get those while supplies last. I'm just 1 step ahead of the kit in that I did all of my embossing. You can stamp the backgrounds like I did for the Dragonfly Garden kit too. So there's one of the cards from the Dragonfly Garden Stamp-A-Stack. We're going to take the same kit, different paper, and turn it into that. All right, so very flexible. The Kitchen Table Stamper class packets are definitely made for you to do with your own stamp sets, your own bundles, the things that you love. You can really adapt them, and I like to show the versatility of that. But it was very much like the snails I did last week. I need cards. I need cards really bad, and I kept walking by the Dragonfly Garden Stamp-A-Stack going, oh, those colors would be great with Oh Snap. All right, there's our little dude. Now, it makes 2 of each. And for this particular design, we'll do this one, the Seaside Spray one, entirely. But I got ahead and did some of the stamping, cutting, and coloring so that we wouldn't have to watch me do 6 cards, all the stamping, cutting, and coloring. All right, I'm gonna stamp my crocodile next. And he is a big stamp, huge. Kathleen says, you do such a great job with your kits. Hey, thank you. The kits really, I used to do a lot of in-person business here, right, in Rolling Meadows. We did a lot of things. We did coffee and a card, and we had a monthly card class and a monthly project class, and then Corona's hit. And I had to figure out, how do I do my classes so that people who aren't here to use my stamps can have flexibility to use the stamps that they love best. And that's how it all happened. The Stamp-A-Stack class kit was born out of that. My local customers wouldn't be able to use my stamps anymore, but I wanted to still have that experience of card class. All right, so I've got my crocodile. I threw him in the Stamparatus because it's such a huge stamp. And I want to really get him all the way to the top edge, because we're going to modify the kit a little bit, the Dragonfly Garden kit, to add a rectangle. So I want to be able to die cut a little rectangle from below him. So that's the idea there. Let's get him stamped up. All right, Memento Tuxedo Black. We're gonna ink up this dude, and he is big, kind of like a background stamp. So let's get him on the Stamparatus. We'll get him stamped, and if we miss any spots, we can go back and fix it with the Stamparatus, which is what I love, because trying to get a clear image on such a big stamp is a little bit easier with the Stamparatus. All right, let's take a peek. Good, good, complete image. All right, now I'm gonna slide him aside, and I'm gonna color him with Mossy Meadow, because that's the green that's in our Dandy Garden. And I'm gonna stamp some fish and color them with Calypso Coral. So let's do a quick bit of stamping. I'm saving this area right here and right here from the kit so that I can cut the stitched rectangle. So we're gonna avoid that by filling in. And then I need a little, what is that? Probably like a heron or a seagull, or I don't know. It's got really long legs. I don't know. What would you say that little bird is? We need one of those. All right, there's our stamping for this one. We're still gonna need some sentiments, but let me get this out of here before I get ink on everything. All right, so who pointed out no dies? I can't remember already. Sorry, my memory is bad, but there's no dies for our little crocodile friend. So we're gonna have to fussy cut these guys. Hey, Des, wanna cut some crocodiles for me? I'm gonna take these leftover pieces from our crocodiles and I'm gonna cut a rectangle. So the kit for this one did not come with the die cut shape already, but the kit does come with the white cardstock. So we're gonna cut out a Whisper White stitched rectangle. It's one of these, it's on the smaller end. It's kind of a long skinny one. Let me show you which one I did in case you wanna follow me. This is H, what I call H, which is like 3 1/4 by 1 5/16 from the stitched rectangles dies. So I've got one that I did ahead of time. We're just gonna crank one really quick here from the scrap. I'm gonna get this guy in here and that guy out. Did you just grab my stuff to cut? You are the best postcard. I love you. All right, so here's the scrap we have set up for die cutting, and I put the die on a magnet so it'd be ready. All right, so we're modifying a bit from the dragonflies here and cutting a little rectangle from our scrap. Ta-da! And there it is. Put this aside. We're going to have to cut one more thing in a minute. Oh, I love these cards. They're so funny. All right. This is our sample. And we're going to grab our designer series paper. So I'm going to pull in my little sheets. I keep moving it around. It's crazy. I want big coral, little misty moonlight, and for 2 cards. So I'll just pull them right out of there. And that's what I've got left to mix and match for my other cards. And I just deal them out when I'm designing. Right now I'm not designing, I'm kind of working the kit. So, I don't have any liquid glue around here. Will you see what happened to my liquid glue? I'm gonna just run some, you guys remember Fast Fuse? That's what I had right behind me, so I'm gonna use some really quick. This would be like the equivalent of the Stampin' Seal Plus. And we're gonna pop on our designer series paper. Just some little angles. This is one of my favorites. I love to show off more than one designer series paper pattern. But, oh my gosh, those would be really cute too. The dandelions with the bees. Oh, so cute. This is a good paper for mixing and matching. This is a good Wonder Recipe paper, especially the ones where the front and the back match, because then you can do the Wonder Recipe with one sheet and just show both sides of the paper. Then you don't get gypped out of the good side because you get to use both sides. All right, let's see here. All right, and this one says, "You Crock My World." Let's go ahead and add a sentiment. I'm doing pretty good without the Stampin' Pierce mat, but now that I've thought that and said it, I feel like I better just get the Stampin' Pierce mat. You guys are laughing at my story. All right, "You Crock My World." See? You crock my world. Max totally needs a card that says, "You crock my world." Oh, all the way to the right, maybe 1/4 of an inch to the right side and 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. 2 of those. And what do I want to do next besides get the ink out of the way before I stick a card in it? All right, let's see here. How's it going? Right? You crock my world. Oh, get my sample back in. We're gonna, now, here's where I modified the kit just a little bit again. There's my "You Crock My World," and there's my sample. Now, in the original Dragonfly Garden Stampa Stack, there is a piece for the Misty Moonlight one, Seaside Spray, and it was embossed for you ahead of time, so you'll find it in your kit if you get it with the this like linen texture. I think that's the name of this one, 3D folder. Subtle, is that what it's called? Subtle embossing folder. And so we're gonna grab those pieces out of the Misty Moonlight kit and we're going to spread them. So we're gonna share our resources, right? Behind the "You Crock My World" there's a little bit of Seaside Spray. What I did was I took the piece from the kit that was already embossed. I needed to spread out the pieces just a little bit as I redesigned the kit. We got one of those. And we're going to do the same thing from the other piece from the kit. Give a little punch. This is the Label Me Fancy punch. Love this dude. And then for our Misty Moonlight gator, you'll see we got a little tab at the top here. We're going to use the Everyday Label punch and use every bit of this. So if you have the kit, or if you're gonna do the kit, see that? If you're gonna do it dragonflies, it would be the layer underneath your dragonflies. But if you're gonna do it crocks, we're gonna spread out the pieces a little bit. Isn't that cool with the texture on it? I don't know if the camera can pick that up. I love that subtle texture. All right, so these pieces go with the Misty Moonlight one that we'll tackle next. Now, little, here's my handy dandy liquid glue. Looking at, okay, so I just glued this label to the back, and I'm gonna glue it to the card. All right, so I had one crocodile already cut, colored, and dimensionaled. I'm gonna bring him in, and he's gonna be saying, "You crock my world." I'm gonna watch him because he loves to push his tail past the top folds. And so with the multi-purpose liquid glue, I can slide a little bit if I need to, which I'm going to just put this down a smidgy bit. Just a little bit. And burnish that down and add my crock. You crock my world. Yeah, it's totally going to be another Cows A Goin' thing, Jackie. You crock my world. All right, his tail is going to go all the way up to the top and not past. There we go. You crock my world. And then those little fish that we did, I did 5 of them. And it's funny because 2 of the 3 in the bunch swim one way and 1 swims the other way. So I want to get them so that they are all swimming in the right direction. It's the little things. It's the little things. All right, so once I got them kind of laid out where I want them, then I'll put them on with multi-purpose liquid glue. A little bit too much glue on the back of that one. And there it is. Going to embellish with a little bit of lemon thread. It's in the kit. I thought because of the like swampy theme that the bugs work pretty good. What do you guys think about the little ladybug trinkets? And I love the color and texture that it brings. At first I had to think about it and try to decide if I thought it was appropriate, but the color is great. And there's lots of bugs in the swamp, right? Maybe even some little beetles. I'm not going to do the second copy for you while we're live. I want to get to the mailbag and stuff. So I'm going to just slide that guy to the side. And then the idea is just more important that you understand the Wonder recipe, how it works, and the kit in case you're interested in stamping along, and that it comes with 6 cards. But we're just going to do the same things on the other card. If we're still chatting, I might go back to it and put together while we're chatting. All right, got my little beetle bug. We're going to put that on in the center of our knot. Kit and the Wonder recipe makes 2. So there they are. And then the designer series paper is from the same quarter package. So from the same quarter package, I got 4 cards with the same kind of feel. All right, so then our little Misty Moonlight version, we have 2 kits from, or 2 from the card kit. I'm gonna set one aside and we're gonna do this one, but it makes 2. Maybe I'll do the designer series paper so that it's not still flopping around. But the difference is here. So this Misty Moonlight, I'll do the designer series paper, Dragonfly card had a panel of Whisper White cardstock included in the kit. And I thought without the background, it was a little flat. So I took that piece that was in the original card kit. Let me get this guy. And so that's the piece that was included in the kit. And I cut it down just a little bit using the Stitch So Sweetly. So let me show you. It'll fit right in there. We just modify a little bit. It's this 3rd largest from Stitch So Sweetly. It's about 3 3/16 by 1 1/16. So let me go ahead and cut this guy down. I was so careful to keep all my little fishies and alligators shuffled or sorted, and now I'm shuffling them up. All right, that's one side. And let me grab my standard cut and emboss machine. Ooh, missed my toe. All right, let's see. Okay, so, all right, I'm gonna just trim this down, give it a little fancy shape. We're not stamping on it like we did for the dragonflies, so we're gonna give it a little, what do they say? Zhuzh. A little, we're gonna step it up just a little bit. And there's our little rectangle. Let's bring our designer series paper back in without dropping any cutting machine parts on our toes. And now for this design, we're going to pull our large bumblebee pieces and our small calypso coral pieces. So mix and match, and that'll leave our bumblebee card pieces. Set that aside. Somebody said, can I order the packet? Linda, absolutely. There's a link in the post directly to it. So I said going live at noon in the post underneath this video on the page, and there's a direct link. Or you can pop into kitchentablestamper.com/shop and then sort in the right hand. There's a filter, just filter to class packets, and you'll see it. There's a limited supply left. All right, let's get these designer series paper pieces. And I'm only going to complete one card, but to make my life easier, I'm going to nail down the designer series paper. And let's go ahead and pop this guy. We're going opposite this time. We're going to do the 3x4 piece and then the 2x3 piece on the other side. And there's that dude. Ta-da! One more time. And I was also thinking, and Desi and I were talking about it, you never know what we'll end up putting together, but this kit, because of the layouts and stuff, it would be really cute if you got the kangaroo bundle. What is it, Kangaroo and Company? Because instead of where the crocodile is, putting a kangaroo, it wouldn't change the layout too much. So it'd be super easy to modify this kit for Kangaroo and Company too, or use this Wonder recipe and follow along this stack of 6 cards yourself with the Kangaroo and Company. All right, so there's our Misty Moonlight. I am going to take my second set and just pop it in the envelope, and I'll do that one after, but I'll walk you through one of the two. Here's our sample. And this one is so fun. All right, so I wanted, because of the white being such a big piece in this kit, I wanted the sentiment to fall outside and inside his mouth. So I took the stamps, and I laid him on where I wanted him to be, and then kind of dry fit everything, put the clear stamps on, and then where I wanted them, and then picked the clear stamps up with the block, okay? So they were laying there face down, and then I picked them up with the block so that then all I'd have to do is stamp them right on where they fit, and he would be instantly lined up. All right, so let's go ahead and stamp it now. I had the placement perfect, so I didn't want to restart it, but I'm finishing my Nailed It Stamp a Stack while watching. Awesome, Marlene. I love it. Isn't it fun, though? I really feel like with the Wonder recipes, you can, for almost the same effort as pulling out all the stuff and designing one card, I think with the Wonder recipes, you really can get 6, 7, 8 cards done with the same decision-making process, with the same materials already pulled out. Like, really, I hardly make one card anymore, because the effort that it takes to design one card, it's not much more multiplied when you do the Wonder recipe. Okay, so this is my label that we punched out of the embossed piece that was in the kit. Glue on the bottom 2/3. Then we're going to make like a little tab all the way to the right. It brings a little splash of a different shade, a little tiny bit of texture, and then we'll get that guy on the card. Now here's the thing. I want to treat these kind of as one piece. So I'm going to take my crocodile, which I stamped, cut, and dimensionaled ahead of time. I'm going to pop this little guy so that his mouth is where I want it, and the sentiments line up just right. And now it's all one piece, which will make it so much easier when we're adhering to the card, keep his tail from going past the edge. All right, so dimensionals are all sticky. We're going to put flat adhesive here, so you can use dry or wet. Then we'll pick him up and put him on there like one big piece. And then his tail is going to end up right where we want it. Okay, good, good, good. Just like we did before, we got our little fishes. This time I've got 3, and we're going to pop them in like embellishments. And then a third little guy. So cute. I'm going to grab a glue dot and roll it because we're using twine. So you can use your take your pick tool. Sometimes I just use my scissors right up on the top. And we can trim out our bow and then our bug. And then we're going to check and see if our envelope ate the bird, because I prepared it. And pop that guy over. So now, all right, we're stealing the bird from the next one because he's going to show up as soon as I replace him. That's like when you buy something and lose a part, like you buy a die set and lose a part, or you buy a stamp set, and especially with all the cling mount stamp sets. Okay, there's our little bird, and you lose a piece. As soon as you order a new one, that's when the old one shows up again. Always, always goes that way. All right, and then a little fishy. I have 2 fishies for here, but I'm not sure where the other one swam away to, so I'll find him. But again, we're gonna embellish with the little 2. I like 5, it's an odd number, so when I find him, I'll stick him on there. And there is Jungle Wishes and Crocodile Kisses. Pretty cute. Oh, spare fish. Dazzy just came in with spare fish. They're not really spare fish, they're for the other one, but that's okay. I need the one that is swimming the other way. Got it. All right, there's our spare fish. What do you think? Pretty cute, right? All right, so we've done Jungle Wishes and Crocodile Kisses, and You Crock My World. One more quick design. We got 2 more pieces of paper left from the Wonder recipe. And next up is Sending a Big Smile. Let me get this guy's aside, this guy in. Now this one has, in the kit, it has a label. Oh, did you see I flung a fish? There's a label, done with everyday label punch for you from Seaside Spray. And it also has a 1 7/8 inch stitch circle. I'm gonna miss those stitch shapes so much. We're gonna do Sending a Big Smile on here. Let me grab some ink and Sending a Big Smile. This is a really good stamp set. I'm having no problem doing without my Stampin' Pierce mat, she says, and that's when we're gonna mess something up. Okay, Sending a Big Smile. How can you resist? This stamp set is so punny. And I'm gonna do 2 card bases because I'm gonna put out the paper from the Wonder recipe, but we'll just assemble this one. Spare fishes. Did you fussy cut? Asked Anna. Yes, I did fussy cut. There are no dies for Oh Snap. You gotta either fussy cut it or electronic cut it. And I am not technical enough to use an electronic cutter. I messed it up. I even messed up the whole machine. So I just fussy cut. All right, here's our last 4 pieces from the Wonder recipe. We're gonna pop those guys on. So 6 cards, 3 pieces of designer series paper. Oh my goodness. I hate gluing down the bees. They're so cute. That would be really, really, really cute. Okay, never mind. We already have a plan. We can do the other plan another time. And then this one. That's one. And then I'll glue this one down and set it aside. All right, so there's our base and our designer series paper. Let's adhere this dude. Just a little bit of adhesive in the center, and we're going to center it on the label. I already cut my little alligator. We're going to do the same thing with this alligator. We're going to make one piece with the greeting. I love the embossed background. It looks like a wallet. It does, right? I was looking at it and going, I could stamp the background, because when I did the dragonfly, the original design, I just stamped with the dragonflies. I gave it a nice little texture, so I could stamp the back. And then I got to thinking about it. I'm like, oh, the hammered metal would be so perfect. Look like boots or a wallet. It does. It looks like crocodile skin. All right, so we're gonna do like the same. We make it one piece, and then we can control where it's gonna line up so that we watch his tail. We'll get the rest of this sticky and add some liquid glue on the flat areas, and then pop it all on as one piece. You want to watch that your greeting is level and your tag is straight up and down, and then once you got it, you burnish the whole big piece. Love, love, love. And our bird goes pretty quick too, because we don't have to color the bird. I did all of my stamping and cutting ahead of time and just relaxing, you know, and then put them all together. Work in batches with the Stamp a Stack kits. That's kind of how they're designed. All right, now my little fishies, here we go again. We got to be careful because two of them swim one way and one of them swims the other way. And I don't want to glue them on upside down. Uh-oh. Do all of my fish swim the same way in this envelope? Looks like they do. Where's the spare fish? Ah, there's spare fish. I want one to go the other way. There. Now there's one swimming upstream. Little dot of liquid glue. And a little dot of liquid glue. This is how I do sequins. I put the dot down first. So we're going to try it that way instead of trying to put it on the back. There. And then this guy swimming the opposite way right here. And then one over here. This guy got away. Well, at least got away from the crocodile. There we go. Sending a big smile. Let's put a bow. It's not finished without a bow. All right, there is sending a big smile. That's design number 3. And then number 2. And number 1. So that's it. We did 6 cards from Wonder Recipe number 7. If you want the printable diagram, it's in the Craft Social, and it'll be on the blog post for this. I'll do a blog post. I'm just going to share the live video later. I'll edit it down just a little bit and share it with the printable template. And if you want the kit, there's a few in the store. There's not a whole lot, but they're while supplies last. If you want to do it like a class, you can get the class packet. It'll do either the Dragonfly Garden, which is attached on the product if you prefer the Dragonfly Garden, or Oh Snap with the same kit. So, Rhonda says, do you have a set of the templates for purchase? They're not for purchase. They're absolutely free. And if you are part of the Kitchen Table Stamper Craft Social, it's the group that's associated with this. In the files section, you'll find all the templates. I think there's 12, Wonder Recipe 1 through 12. Or pop over to kitchentablestamper.com, and in the sidebar, there's a category drop-down menu. Just click on the category and then click on 6x6 Wonder Recipe, and you'll see all the blog posts that have used the Wonder Recipes, and you can get the printable templates from there. And I am updating them all to be like the little sortie template that you can cut and assort your papers. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Bye-bye.